Gaura Nitai Jaya, 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 Gaura Nitai. Shri Gaura Ki Jai.
Jai.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Hemati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityayine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityayine Namaste Saraswati Deva Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Tasya Deshatarine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Tasya Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasari Gaura Bhattavrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasari Gaura Bhattavrinda Deva Jaya Jaya Gaura Chandra Aarati Deva Jaya Jaya Gaura Chandra Aarati Janarita Tavani Jagamana Lopa Janarita Tavani Jagamana Lopa Jajita Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Maharaja Prabhupada ki Om Vishnu Pada Paramaham Sapariji Kachara Shota Mashada Shishimad Bhakti Siddhartha Swami Maharaja Prabhupada ki Ananta Kalcha Vaishnava Vrinda ki Acharya Shila Haridas Thakur ki ISKCON founder Acharya Shila Prabhupada ki Brahmsika Pushi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Girivardhan ki Giri Vrindavan Dham ki, Shivarpur Dham ki, Jagannath Puri Dham ki, Gangamay ki, Yamunamay ki, Tulasi Devi ki, Bhakti Devi ki, Shikhari Rama Sankirtana ki, Virad Vrindavan ki, Samadeta Bhakta Vrinda ki, Gaura Brahmande, Om Gauri Stoda Samjivachis, Om Gauri Stoda Samjivachis, Om Gauri Stoda Samjivachis, Om Gauri Sishi Guru Shugaran, Gaura Tashira Prabhupada. Jaya Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthapade Shimaji Vedanta Swami Chinamane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavani Paschatya Darshatarina Panchakalpatrubhishya Kripa Sindhu Vyavacha Patitanam Pavanabhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namo Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Narasimha Hi, Krishna. My name is Krshna Dulal Das. I'd like to welcome you to our Sunday Feast program, a famous international Sunday Feast program that's happening pretty much everywhere all over the world on Sundays. This is one of the programs that our founder, Srila Prabhupada, sitting in the corner over there, started when he came to the West in sometime after 1965 or so. And so we carry on the tradition. And as you can see, right now we just had a little ceremony that was taking place. There was some chanting. There was, from the sounds of it upstairs, I could hear there was some dancing and thumping too. So lots of enthusiasm. And there are certain items that were also being offered to the Lord. Again, in our Vaishnava tradition, we look at a relationship with the Lord as a personal thing. You know, there's such a thing as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? Krishna, right? Krishna is actually a Sanskrit word, and it's a name very befitting to God. Right? The translation for the word Krishna is all attractive. So we come together and we chant his names. And actually, just like in the Bible, it said, in the beginning there was the Word, and the Word was God. God's energies and his personality and his presence is there when we repeat his name. That's why sometimes it's also referred to as the transcendental sound vibration. That's the power of mantras, right? And different words that we say. They're very enlivening, spiritualizing. And so, as you can see also, we come and to cultivate that personal relationship with the Lord, just like you would with a person. We offer some food, right? We can offer some comfort. We offer a fan. And so some of the elements were there. The fire was being offered, the diya. We had some water. Some foodstuffs were prepared also that was offered before the curtains were opened, which we will all share in afterwards at the end of the program too, which is food that had been offered to the Lord. Some incense, some fan as well. And the next item on the list is usually we have some discussion. So we talk a little bit on the science of Krishna consciousness, and then following that, as our tradition at ISKCON Ottawa, we have some Kirtan after that, and then prasadam. So the food that has been prepared is also shared with everybody. So I hope that everybody can stay for the duration with us. Program will go probably somewhere close to around 5 o'clock. And I'd like to also, I see there are some new faces here for the first time. Is anybody here coming for the first time? You can raise your hand. First time, welcome, welcome. Anybody else? Everybody else has been here before? Yes, familiar faces, great. So if you don't mind my asking, how did you find out about this place here?
I'm a friend of the brother of Madhava.
Friend of the brother of Madhava. Okay, awesome. Okay, great, wonderful. Yeah, it's good to have some friends. And my wife was telling me that you are both from Cornwall.
Yes.
Is that right? I was just there today. It's amazing. Yeah, Cornwall. Yeah. I could see there's some spiritual seekers in Cornwall, because a few times as I was going in the store, went to Canadian Tire, I had my bead bag with me, and somebody came up to me and said, "Do you know that that's a Japamala?" And I'm like, "Really?" You know, this is like a Krishna thing, right? And I'm like, yeah, you know, a few times I went to a gas station also there in Cornwall and went to fill up, and the person at the gas station went, "Hare Krishna." And he says, "I noticed you had the neck beads that you were wearing there. So there must be something going on in Cornwall. Something's happening there." There was another boy who lives just, you know, I think a few blocks away from the place that I work there. And so he says, "Is there any way that I can get some devotional clothes, you know, dhoti?" So he was in touch with Krishna Prabhu and Mother Yakarani Janaki. And I said, "I can drop it off, I go to Cornwall." So I took you know, a dhoti and some clothing, and I dropped it off, and he was very thankful, and he says, "I have some incense to offer you that I got also." Wanted to give a gift, right? Wanted to have an exchange, right? That happened there. So it's really wonderful to have you join us. What are your names?
Kieran.
Kieran and?
Bridget.
Bridget. Kieran and Bridget, welcome. And also, I believe there are some guests that are here online, so I'd like to just acknowledge their presence as well. So, Hare Krishna, warm welcome to Mother Anandamayi. Hare Krishna Guru Prasad Prabhu. Hare Krishna Harinamamrita Prabhu. Hare Krishna Mother Leela Mohini. And Hare Krishna Shreyas Prabhu. Hare Bol, welcome. So we'll start off with chanting a quick prayer here, Jaya Radha Madhava, and then we'll get into the Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya
Hare Krishna, everyone. Before we start discussion, can I ask everyone to sit a bit closer, to come closer, so we expect more people to come. It will remove distance between our speaker and audience. Will make the connection stable. Thank you so much.
I think also there's going to be some kids' activities happening downstairs now. So, who's a kid here? There's some kids here? Yeah? You a kid? Okay. What about you? You a kid? You're a junior, okay. Is there any youth? Youthful? Okay, so what's the plan? Should anybody under the age of 16, who's under the age of 16 here? 17, 18, 19? Yeah, we got some persons, fantastic. Okay, who are we following Krishna Seva Prabhu? Okay, Mother Ekarani Janaki. So if you can follow Mother Ekarani Janaki, we're going to go downstairs. We have a special place for you down there and some activities planned so you can stand up. Go ahead. Get on up. And Nikita Prabhu's going to lead the way. Okay? Go ahead. Show them where to go. Jaya. I think some of them are downstairs already. Yeah. Go ahead. Prabhu, you're not 16. You're 16 at heart. Yeah, sweet 16. That's great. Okay, so I'm speaking something. I'll try to speak something, put my thoughts together from the Bhagavad Gita a little bit. I wasn't scheduled to speak today. It was actually supposed to be His Grace Guru Prasad Prabhu, but he's not feeling so well, so he's okay. But he's taking it easy, and he'll save the presentation for next time. So we hope we'll have the time to hear from him. And it's always good, to hear from our Vaishnavas, see how they're doing. And so if any of you have connections with Guru Prasad Prabhu, I saw he's online, he's there, he's overlooking. So if you have a chance to maybe give him a call sometime throughout the week, Prabhu, see how you're doing. Is there anything I can do for you? That's always nice. It's always nice to hear. So I'm going to start off with some invocation prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So this is a verse from the Bhagavad Gita. It's 2 verses from the 12th chapter, and it's text 13 and 14. I'm going to try to say the Sanskrit. Adveshta sarva bhutanam maitra karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankara samadukha sukha kshami santushta satatam yogi yatatma jidha nishchaya my arpita mano buddhir yomad bhakta samre priya. And we could go through let's go through the word for word translation here. Adveshta, not envious. Sarva Bhutanam, for all living entities. Maitra, friendly. Karuna, kindly. Eva, certainly. Cha, also. Nirmama, with no sense of proprietorship. Nirahankara, without false ego. Sama, equally. Dukha, distress. Sukha, happiness. Kshami, forgiving.
forgiving,
Santushtaha,
santushtaha,
satisfied.
satisfied,
Satatam,
satatam,
satisfied.
satisfied,
Yogi,
yogi,
engaged in devotion.
engaged in devotion,
Yata Atma,
yatma,
endeavoring.
endeavoring,
Dridha Nishchaya, with determination.
with determination,
Mai,
mai,
upon me.
upon me,
Arpita,
arpita,
engaged.
engaged,
Mana,
mana,
mind.
mind,
Buddhi,
buddhi,
intelligent.
intelligence,
Ya,
ya,
one who.
one who,
Mat Bhakta,
madhava,
my devotee.
my devotee,
Same Priya,
same priya,
he is dear to me.
is dear to me.
Translation. One who is not envious, but who is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor, who is free from false ego, and equal both in happiness and distress, who is always satisfied and engaged in devotional service with determination, and whose mind and intelligence are in agreement with me. He is very dear to me. Purport. Coming again to the point of pure devotional service, the Lord is describing the transcendental qualification of a pure devotee in these two verses. A pure devotee is never disturbed in any circumstances, nor is he envious of anyone, nor does a devotee become his enemy's enemy. He thinks that one is acting as his enemy due to his own past misdeeds. Thus it is better to suffer than to protest. In the Srimad Bhagavatam it is stated, Tate nukampam su samikshamano. Whenever a devotee is in distress or has fallen into difficulty, he thinks that it is the Lord's mercy upon him. He thinks, thanks to my past misdeeds, I should suffer far, far greater than I am suffering now. So it is by the mercy of the Supreme Lord that I am not getting all the punishment I am due. I am just getting a little, by the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, he was always calm, quiet, and patient, despite many distressful conditions. A devotee is always kind to everyone, even to his enemy. Nirmama means that a devotee does not attach much importance to the peace and trouble pertaining to the body, because he knows perfectly well that he is not the material body. He does not identify with the body. Therefore, he's freed from the conception of false ego and is equipoised both in happiness and distress. He is tolerant. He is satisfied with whatever comes by the grace of the Supreme Lord. He does not endeavor much to achieve something with great difficulty. Therefore, he is always joyful. He is completely perfect mystic because he is fixed in the instructions received from the spiritual master. And because his senses are controlled, he is determined. He is not swayed by false arguments because no one can lead him from the fixed determination of devotional service. He is fully conscious that Krishna is the eternal Lord, so no one can disturb him. All his qualifications enable him to depend entirely on the Supreme Lord. Such a standard of devotional service is undoubtedly very rare, but a devotee becomes situated in that stage by following the regulative principles of devotional service. Furthermore, the Lord says that such a devotee is very dear to him, for the Lord is always pleased with all his activities in full Krishna consciousness. Om Ajnanati Mirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Angam Langayati Grim Yat Kripatadaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinataram Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishna Bhutaya Shrimati Niranjana Swami Tilamini Anahata Prayasana Prabhupada Tushti Sankirtan Pravrityartha Ihate Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutaya Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Sarasvati Devi Gauravani Pracharya Nirvishesha Sundavani Pasitara Satarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, I'm going to read the translation again. One who is not envious, but who is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor, who is free from all false ego, and equal both in happiness and distress, who is always satisfied and engaged in devotional service with determination, and whose mind and intelligence are in agreement with me. He is very dear to me. So how many of you were thinking, that's me? I'm like that. I'm completely, friends with everybody, free from all false ego, I'm equal in happiness and distress, I'm always satisfied, always engaged in devotional service, I'm so determined, and my mind and intelligence are always in agreement, right, with the Lord and so on. Anybody was thinking that here? No? Yes. So such is our position, right? We're not quite there, right? And these are the wise words that are being spoken by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, right? Because I think almost 99% of us in the material world suffer from envy, We have some envy to a certain degree, right? That we have of somebody else or of something else or whatever it is. We very often identify with our body, right? With our false ego, as it is, that we're this person, how could we be treated this way? Recently, right now in our morning Bhagavatam classes, we're reading a section which is about Daksha, right? Who is known as also a very exalted personality. He, has very many opulences, and wealth, and he's very well respected, and he's known kind of like the father of mankind, lots of children, and one of his son-in-laws was actually Lord Shiva, right? And so what happened, he went into the arena, right? There was a big sacrificial ceremony happening, and he said some things that he shouldn't have said. He got angry, and out of anger was the verse we were reading on Saturday. It's like an elephant, mad elephant that comes into a village, right, and creates destruction, right? Because that's what anger, right? That's what happens when a mad elephant is faced with anger. It just destroys everything in its way. So that's what happens with anger, right? And it was saying in that one verse that these enemies, such as lust, passion, and anger, can attack you, and you can lose all composure. So here Prabhupada is talking in the purport. Let's try to break it down a little bit. He says, he's talking a little bit about pure devotional service. Can anybody say something? Maybe you can help me out a little bit about devotional service. What is pure devotional service? What are some activities of devotional service? What does devotional service mean to you? And if you can quote some scripture, that's even better, right? But does anybody know anything about devotional service? Has anybody ever heard about devotional service? It's a new concept. Got microphones there. Krishna Prabhu's got it. Oh, Prabhu's got his hand up. Jaya. Thank you. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I personally feel humbly that whatever activity that we involve in, if we do that, taking that particular task as the Mahaprasad of Prabhanja Shakti and 100% involved in that, as if we got a great Mahaprasad from Prabhanja Shakti, would we miss at least one grain from that? Only one grain from that particular Mahaprasad, what we took in our hands, we would not do it. Even if it missed by mistake, by carelessness, we would immediately pick it up, even that one grain from the ground, because we respect that particular task or the thing that is given to us as Mahaprasad. Then we will do it with 100% involvement, without any bias, without any like and dislike.
whatever task that we do with that kind of involvement becomes devotional service. Hare Krishna.
So you're saying if we perform a task with great intent, realizing its value, and seeing how, wow, this is the most valuable thing, and if I do it with the most intent and with that kind of intensity, revering this activity, you're saying that is devotional service. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so now my question is, I mean, we can do a lot of activities with revered intent and a lot of meditation and consider it very, very important, but what makes that different than, you know, something else that may be valuable? What's the difference between devotional service and some other activity that we do? Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. What comes to my mind when we say devotional service, first thing is 100% surrender towards the Lord. And when we do surrender, we do everything for Krishna without any expectation of result and anything, like Radharani does at every time. Like she don't expect anything from Krishna, but do devotional service with full surrenderance and love. That's Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you very much. So, Prabhu is, yes, Hare Krishna. So he's saying that we should perform devotional service with great surrender and for the Lord, right? So you're saying for Krishna. So devotional service, you're saying, is reserved for the Lord, or it should be for the Lord, yeah? For Krishna.
So there is a verse, I don't know, I'm saying right or not, Jivere Swarupai Krishna Nityadas, which also tell us every living being, the real job for every living being is to surrender to Krishna and be his permanent servant with love and devotion.
Okay, thank you so much, Prabhu. So you're saying that our, I guess, constitutional nature is to perform devotional service for the Lord and surrender everything that we do. Okay, thank you. So we heard that the value of devotional service, it's like the most valuable thing, Prabhu was saying. And Priyam Prabhu is saying that it should be reserved for the Lord, and it's our nature to complete the devotional service or perform devotional service in that mood of surrender. But what is devotional service? So we talked about the value of those things, but okay, we've got Krshna Prabhu. Pass on. Thank you.
I think following the instruction from of Guru is the main devotional service, because we may not understand what is a pure devotional service. Like even for few things we might be very intense, but that not be pure devotional service, because we don't know, and we are Mudha, we don't know anything, and also the intensity or anything until unless the Guru tell us, because we don't know. Like we might be very intense, or we might be very deep, we might be very 100%, but we don't know, because we are Mudha, we don't have that knowledge. So I think following the instruction of Guru or even Siksha Guru is the pure devotional service.
Okay, thank you. So, very well. So Bhakti Prabhu is saying, best to perform devotional service under the direction of Guru, right? So you're taking an instruction, and that's the most effective way to perform devotional service. But still, what is devotional service? Like, what is it, practically speaking? What is devotional service? So we know that we should do it with great intent. It's instructions that are given from the Guru. But what kind of instructions is the Guru giving us usually? Okay, we have Niraj Prabhu in the back. Let's get a microphone over there. Niraj Prabhu's my homeboy. We're from the Russell, Embrun area. So nice to see you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. So with a little bit what I know, the devotional service is your talk to your faith, your God, what you believe in, and the way is doing. Not the easiest, but one of the ways doing is by meditation. To devote yourself to reach where you are from, or to get into where you are from. That's what I know, but
Thank you so much. Sounds good. So Prabhu is saying devotional service is a way to connect and meditate with the Lord, to make a connection, right, through some activity. But the Sonia, Hare Krishna, oh, we're coming, we're making our way around. All right, Bo.
Hare Krishna. To me, I feel like devotional service is anything you're doing selflessly for the Lord, for Krishna, whether it's you're making prasadam or you're talking about scriptures or reading scriptures, anything, whether you're cleaning the temple or anything you're doing selflessly for Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much. Okay, Mother Shira.
I just wanted to say the same thing of my recent realization about devotional service is anything that is not satisfying my senses, but to have the desire to satisfy the senses of Krishna is devotional.
To do some activities, to have a desire to satisfy Krishna.
Krishna's senses, not my senses.
Okay, Hare Krishna, thank you very much. Okay, so now let's see if we could, would anybody like to add anything else? Hare Krishna, in the back, yes? Oh, let's get a microphone, can we pass the baton?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Serving the Lord with the love and affection and without expectation, and going back to the lotus feet of Krishna, whatever the activities we need to do to go back to the Godhead, this will be the devotions.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much. Hare Go. Surrender Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
So I just want to add to what Krshna Prabhu said is basically you kept on asking what are those activities in devotional service, and then something coming to my mind is that in Nectar of Instruction it says it's an active process. And I think if you are asking about the activities, then the two root activities will be regulatory principles of devotional service, that is chanting 16 rounds and following the 4 regulatory principles. And then you can expand that, and then you will get the rest of the things, whatever you have done.
Jaya, Hare Krishna, thank you. Yeah, so I like that it's an active process, action. You know, when all of these things were coming around, I could think, what is love, right? This is what love is, right? Unconditional, without any respect. You want to surrender, devote yourself, devotion. And also, as Surrender Prabhu was thinking, I was thinking about this verse that describes devotional service, the Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is Anyabhi Lasita Sunyam, Jnana Karmadi Anavritam, Anukulyena Krishanu, Shilanam Bhaktir Uttama. It says one should render transcendental loving service to the Supreme Lord Krishna favorably and without desire for material profit or gain through fruitive activities or philosophical speculation. That is called pure devotional service. It says when these 4 kinds of persons, talking about the different persons that come to the Lord for different reasons, but they come to the Supreme Lord for devotional service and are completely purified by the association of pure devotees. So that's an active process that, oh, Hare Krishna. Maybe somebody wants to call us and tell us about devotional service, their thoughts. We could just hang it up, yeah. We should turn off the ringer. So, you know, another point here is being mentioned is the association of devotees, right? So again, it's an active process. It's recommended that it be done in the associations of other like-minded persons. And so it's a very nice verse from the Bhagavad Gita. It talks about that. Again, Srila Prabhupada says here, it says, a pure devotee is never disturbed in any circumstances, is never envious of anyone, nor does a devotee become his enemy's enemy. So it talks about the wonderful qualities of a pure devotee, right? So it's pretty, is it easy enough? Does everybody understand now? Everybody can do it, no problem? We can all be not disturbed? Is it so easy? No, it's not so easy. Why isn't it not so easy? What are some obstacles that come in the way? When we have the example of Daksha, you can see what happened. An obstacle came in his way, right? He was pretty realized, right? Quite a devotee, but something came in the way, right? So what's stopping us from, yes, Hare Krishna?
You forget about the Lord.
You forget about the Lord. Yes. That's wonderful. Thank you. What are some other obstacles?
And even his devotees.
Pardon me?
Even his devotees.
Even his devotees forget about the Lord.
No, like you forgot about to respect about.
And about the devotees? Yeah, the relationships that we have.
In the Dasa's case. Like
Yes.
Respect Lord Shiva.
Yes. So I kind of chose this verse. I was looking for some different quotes, but really what kind of stuck out for me is the word patience, right? Darya. Did you want to say something, Shah Prabhu?
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Hare Krishna. So you asked the question, what obstacle comes in the way?
Yeah.
Our subtle body, right? Ahankara, your false ego.
Okay.
And our mind. Many repeated births, we have impressions from desires that we've accumulated. And these desires then tend to manifest in different ways. So sometimes we don't necessarily taste that higher taste of pure devotional service because we have our minds acting against us with the desires that we've accumulated from this life and from many lives. And
yes.
That false ego, and in this particular verse it says, one who does not think himself as the controller or the proprietorship, right? So we tend to, we demand respect, we demand, control, this control-like mentality. So when we don't put ourselves in a position to understand that Krishna is the supreme, then we see ourselves as wanting to be in a supreme position, and that becomes an obstacle.
Yes. Thank you so much, Prabhu. That's great. All right, well, so it's along the lines exactly what Prabhupada is saying in this verse. He says, he thinks that one is acting as his enemy due to his own past deeds, right? That's what a devotee thinks, right? So if something bad is happening to him, he's thinking like, wow, I deserve actually a lot worse than that. And Prabhupada was saying that in this purport. And we were talking a little bit about that. There was another verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam, which was 11th canto, about the story of the Avanti Brahmana, and how he was, a Brahmana who was, had all good qualities, but he was a little bit mean in the way that he handled his family, and he was really into business and stuff, and his family didn't like him, and he kind of distanced himself, and he had this realization, and then he decided, okay, I'm just going to meditate on the Lord, I'm going to become a yogi, right? And people would criticize him, and it's described here that, this criticism, when we get this criticism, it says here, third text of this 11th canto, 20th chapter, says, sharp arrows which pierce one's chest and reach the heart do not cause as much suffering as the arrows of harsh, insulting words that become lodged within the heart when spoken by uncivilized men, right? And then in this Bhagavatam, we're talking about Daksha, and Lord Shiva, was speaking to his wife, Sati, and she says, I'm just going to go to my dad and I'm going to talk to him and it's going to be okay. And Lord Shiva's saying, I don't know if you can handle this, right? And he also tells her that, he's going to be speaking words, right, that are going to be sharp arrows. And he said, sometimes when people hear such sharp arrows, this attack on character, especially from people that love you, right, or your family, he says, it could lead one to even commit suicide, right? It could happen, right? So these sharp words, they just stick with you. You hear, you meditate on it, right? So Bhagavad Gita and such scriptures here, and Srila Prabhupada's whole society is actually here to help us mitigate these sharp arrows, right? And figure out how we can joyfully perform devotional service, which is our constitutional nature, right? So it says that the nature of the soul, when we say the soul, is to be eternal. The soul is never slain, right? It's eternal. Be full of knowledge, right? And full of bliss, right? So everybody is, it's according to this philosophy, we're all, part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, exalted beings, but we have forgotten, right? Like Mother Sadhana was saying, we've forgotten. We've become into the contact of material nature. We start to get this feeling of wanting to lord over material nature, and we've forgotten, and we're suffering, right? Because we're trying to enjoy, and it's like the fish being out of the water, right? Our transcendental nature, as spoken in Bhagavad Gita, is to be performing devotional service, to be performing loving devotional service, to be selfless, to be humble, right? These qualities of a Vaishnava, they're being put out there, to be patient, to be tolerant, and only until we can start meditating on these qualities and performing devotional service. And it's also described that there are 9 processes of devotional service, which are, what are some of the processes of devotional service? What's the first process of devotional service? Yes? Smaranam. That's not the first process. What's the first one on the list? Pardon me? What's Shravanam? Hearing, yeah, so it starts with hearing. What's the next one? Chanting, right? Repeating, speaking, right? What's the third one? So 1, Shravanam, Kirtanam. What's the next one, Priyam Prabhu? Smaranam, yeah. What's the fourth one? Okay, service, padas to the lotus feet. Okay, what's the 5th one? Archanam, okay, offering deity worship, yeah. Archanam, that's 5. Vandanam, what's Vandanam?
Prayers.
Prayers, okay. What's so 6, 7, we have 3 more.
Dasyam.
Okay, being a servant, dasyam, yeah.
Sakyam.
Friendship, sakyam, yeah. What's that? No. Complete surrender, yeah. Bhakti Marg Maharaj says, sweet surrender. Right? And so, if we behave on the platform of the false ego and try to lord over material nature, if our interactions essentially are going to be meditating around us, right, and not our true nature, then the result is that we become forgetful, and that we suffer, and we suffer hardships in our relationships, you know. And let's face it, I think this is why everybody comes to the temple, Krishna consciousness, right? They take up a process like this. It's because they want to better themselves somehow. They want to go for something better, right? They want to have some loving taste, right? Some ras, right? Some relationship. They want to experience love. I mean, who wants to? Everybody wants to experience love, right? But people very often are going to the wrong places. They're going around it, you know, the wrong way. And so this process here, it's said that, you know, if we practice, if we meditate, if we engage in devotional service, if we hear, chant, if we remember about Krishna, and if we become patient, if we become determined. There's another verse here, I'm going to try to quote. Talks about, this is from Prabhupada's lecture, Bhagavad Gita 2:46-47, 1966. Talks about patience. Dharya means patience, patience. There may be so many obstacles in prosecuting our spiritual life, but we should patiently go forward. We shall not be discertained. It says, and with confidence that because I am following, just like Bhagavad Gita is a standard book. If not Bhagavad Gita, take Bible or take Quran, whatever you like. Now there are some formulas for prosecuting spiritual life. So one must have confidence that because I am following the standard method, so my spiritual life will really be perfected. We must have this confidence, and that is a fact. It says first enthusiasm, second patience, and then third with confidence. Nishchayat, dharyat. It says utsahad, dharyat, nishchayat, tat karma pravartanat. Simply enthusiasm will not do, he says. Will not do just enthusiasm. So those things, enthusiasm, patience, and then with confidence. So, Srila Prabhupada is giving us the formula. And then there's another verse in the 11th canto, which is being spoken, and it says, having awakened faith in the narrations of my glories, with regards to Krishna saying this, being disgusted with all material activities, knowing that all sense gratification leads to misery, but still being unable to renounce all sense enjoyment, my devotee should remain happy and worship me with great faith and conviction, determination. Even though he is sometimes engaged in sense enjoyment, my devotee knows that all sense gratification leads to miserable result, as he sincerely repents such activities. So, some obstacles that come in our way, you know, anger, right, our misidentification with the body, We run into quarrels with devotees, with family members sometimes. And there was some other quotes that I really liked, which were talking a little bit, there Srila Prabhupada quotes about forgiveness, which is a quality of a Vaishnava. You know, sometimes we become angry, or we get upset, or we become disturbed, and we blame, you know, Justin Trudeau, right, for, you know, doing this to our country. You know, it's his fault, right? It's not, you know, my fault. I'm just a, you know, innocent citizen here, right? It's his fault that I'm suffering, or it's, you know, or it's my wife's fault, right? Or, you know, it's Krishna Seva Prabhu's fault, you know, or Krshna Dulal Prabhu's fault, whoever it is, right? And there's so many reasons, you know, for us to, and we harbor, you know, these feelings, we have these difficulties. And so it's being prescribed that, you know, we practice devotional service patiently, we listen, we hear and chant, we discuss transcendental subject matters, we chant Hare Krishna, this is purifying for us. But it also talks about that we should be forgiving. It says the duty of a Brahmana is to culture the quality of forgiveness, which is illuminating like the sun. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari is pleased with those who are forgiving. It's another quote. The Lord is satisfied with the devotee when the devotee greets other people with tolerance, mercy, friendship, and equality. Another quote. Forgiveness is dharma. Forgiveness is virtue. Forgiveness is sacrifice, and forgiveness is the Vedas. Forgiveness is purity and penance. It is truth, piety, religion, and the holy Narayana. Right? All of these nice different quotes. So, any questions? Yes?
Prabhu, I just had a curious question, like, why is ahankara just translated as false ego? Is it not ego? Should it be just called as ego, or why is it called false ego?
Well, false ego, because our real ego is that we're supposed to be, you know, servants of Krishna, right? We're a pure servant of the Lord, right? And that's the real ego. The false ego is when we start to identify with our body, right? That we are the body, right? That we are this person, something that we're not. Surendra Prabhu is going to also add. Thank you. You have a Sanskrit scholar in the back.
Not Sanskrit scholar, but just because he's Indian Hindi speaker, so that's why. So the false ego is basically the ahankara, but the real ego is saying is basically in Hindi we will say the vastvik swarup. So in English is jivera swarup, so that jivera swarup is real ego.
Yes.
And then the ahankar negativity we know is actually false ego. So that's how we can.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So I thought about, you know, these thoughts, you know, these wonderful qualities, and I thought that, you know, like we're working as a family, and sometimes we have difficulties, sometimes we get a little bit discouraged, sometimes I was thinking about some of the initiatives that we have. We're trying to do a fundraiser for the temple, right, and get together, organize things, and, you know, do some upgrades and do that. And sometimes it becomes difficult. Somebody doesn't do something, or, you know, again, we just become discouraged, because it happens, right? I'm not perfect. But here it's encouraging words being spoken. So from the Bhagavad Gita, it says, you continue to endeavor. And actually, these activities, whatever projects we have, these are not important. They have very little importance. Like, yes, building a temple would be nice. It's a strict structure, but it's just a building, right? That's all that it is, you know, or acquiring something, or whatever activity that we do. I mean, the result, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all, right? But what matters is how we do it, and in what spirit that we do it with, right? And how we regard one another, you know, as a family, right? It may happen, it may not happen, but it's what's happening throughout this process that's the most important thing, right? And, you know, Krishna is saying in the Bhagavatam, we should remain enthusiastic, we shouldn't become discouraged, we should, you know, try to work together. Prabhupada was saying on his deathbed before he left, you know, if you want to do something for me, please cooperate with one another, try to work with one another. We have so many reasons why we can't work with one another. It's really easy to put excuses and do that. But if you want to please Krishna, if you want to perform pure devotional service, then you need to exercise all of these advices that are being given here, right? Which is having tolerance, being patient, being, forgiving. And if we do that, actually, it's a recipe for being in this world, but not of this world, right? So we say, yes, material world is so tough. It's known as the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. People always, fault finding and doing those things. But you can be in this world, right? But not of this world. If you take up the process of devotional service, like the Avanti Brahmana, he was there, right, in the world, but these sharp words that were coming and piercing him, they didn't affect him anymore at this point, right? Because he actually was thinking, I deserve far worse than this, like all of my misdeeds that I performed in my past life, I'm getting such mercy right now from Krishna. And he actually was looking, wealth, all of these things. Wealth is terrible. Like, if I have wealth, I'm going to think it belongs to me and I should, have dominion over it, right? So he's saying, wow, Krishna is being so merciful, to me. We were talking about this in Bhagavatam class, saying, wish I had that consciousness that I'm like, oh man, I have a lot of money, right? This is not good, I'm just my ego is going to go like this and, it's going to be terrible. But these are the thoughts of a devotee. He's thinking everything belongs to Krishna, anything bad that's happened to me, I deserve far worse. This person who's raining some insults at me or not listening to me or whatever, he's so kind to me. He's my friend right now. He's really showing me, how to be humble, humbling me, making me dig deeper somehow. So if we cultivate this kind of a spirit, Mother Anandamaya was commenting also on the class last time. She's saying, yeah, if we feel that we deserve far, far worse, it's liberating. Actually, it's so liberating. You don't have to think that I'm this big person or anything like this. You think I'm just a servant, and you truly become self-satisfied. This is being said here. This is the characteristic of a true yogi. The kids downstairs are practicing on a play, and the play is about the yogi. And it's about a rat that comes to the yogi and steals his underwear, because he only owned 2 pairs of underwear, right? So he stole one of his pairs of underwear. And the yogi was thinking, I know what I need to do. I need to get a cat, right? So he got a cat. And so the cat would make sure that the mouse doesn't come, right? And it wasn't an issue. But the cat was hungry. So he got a cow, right? And figured the cow could provide milk for the cat and he would be happy. But then he realized that somebody needs to milk the cow. So then he needed a wife, right? So he got a wife, right, to milk the cow. But then the wife wanted a baby, right? Wanted a child, right? So okay, he had a child. But then the child wanted a dog, right? To be able to play. So then he got a dog. And so on. And each one of those, whatever he would get himself entangled with, they were all putting pressure. I want that daddy, master, this, cow. And at some point he said, Om Namo Scram, right? And then everything left. And then again he's back in meditation. And then the rat comes trying to steal his underwear. And he says, that's okay. It's just the material world. This is part of it. So, this is really great advice that we should try to, again, forgive, be tolerant, work with one another, be determined, right? These, again, it's easy to get ruffled a little bit. And I wanted to read one, just to finish, one excerpt that from a letter that I once received from my Guru Maharaj, right? Because I was writing him, and believe it or not, even I get disturbed sometimes. You constantly get disturbed, right? There's disturbances that are always there. And so one time it was really, really weighing on me. And I wrote, a letter to my Guru, and I was telling him, I have some disturbances, right? They're bothering me. I'm really fighting, trying to find a way through it somehow. And this is what he wrote me. I was going to read it to you here. He said, I'm sorry to hear that there has been some internal conflict, that you're having with so-and-so, right? Please try your best to look within and see what you can do to help resolve it. He says, the Ottawa Yatra is a close community with such a nice family spirit. We must always be forgiving of close family members, even if we cannot always agree with them. If it is not resolved before you leave, please include a prayer for the strength to resolve it during your visit to the Holy Dham, right? He's saying, make some prayers so you could pray, right? But think with this, so nice, isn't it? Like, it was as soon as I heard that, I was like, wow, you know? I just have to internally resolve somehow, you know? Be forgiving, be tolerant, right? And as soon as you take that kind of a stance, it's like a whole burden of everything is lifted off your chest. There's a quote, Bhakti Marg Maharaj, he was reading it at some point, read for some writer or poet, said, anger does more damage to the vessel that's carrying it than the object that it's poured on. You know, like very often we hold some kind of, you know, resentment to somebody, something, you know, the Prime Minister, whatever it is, right? But if we can understand that we're all in the wash together here, we're all suffering from our past misdeeds, you know, but we all want to work together. We actually love one another. We're a family. There should be a family spirit. No matter what obstacles be thrown in our way, right? We can overcome it, right? Because we do that. Simply perform devotional service, right, together. And so in closing, I just wanted to, I don't have my phone. I was wondering, Krishna Seva Prabhu posted some opportunities for devotional service in the WhatsApp group. Is it possible to go through? Do you have that on your phone? Does anybody have their phone? Who's in ISKCON Ottawa WhatsApp group here? Who's part of that WhatsApp group? Okay, great. Oh, thank you. So, Krishna Seva Prabhu, which his name is translated as devotional service for Krishna, it's his name. He is saying, Hare Krishna everyone, we would like to share with you some of the available service opportunities related to the temple activities. 1. Making beautiful flower arrangements for decorating the altar before Sunday feasts for special events and festivals. Look at these beautiful flower arrangements. We have some nice bouquets and garlands, wonderful garlands. Hare Krishna. Let's thank all those devotees for the wonderful service. Thank you. Taking charge of the children's program during the Sunday feast, organizing games, drama, quizzes, artwork, and any other activities related to Krishna consciousness. There will be several people alternating every Sunday, so you're welcome to start with once a month or more often. And we have Mother Karani Janaki's down there, right, with the children. Haribol! Thank you. That's wonderful. So there's opportunities. We need more, right, if we can. 4. Helping in wrapping up the Sunday feast program after 5:30. Several persons responsible for finding volunteers and guiding them in cleaning the main altar room, Krishna's kitchen, dishes, and locking the temple. So this is a devotional service. It's a very important one. There's a lot of work to do. You're serving Vaishnavas directly. And one thing I thought about this service, it's really nice when you can find a partner or a few partners to do this service with. You know, doing devotional service in solitary can be tough sometimes, right? Because you got to deal with your mind, right? And you don't want to do it, or you don't want to get up. But if you do it with a friend and you become dependent on one another, it becomes really enlivening. It becomes it becomes satisfying, self-satisfying. So if there's devotees who would like to volunteer to do that, say, I can close up. I'm a responsible person. You can count on me, Prabhu. You know, I can do it once a month, or once every 2 months, or once every third, you know, Sunday, or whatever, right? So those kind of things. Number 5, designing posters, flyers, booklets related to upcoming festivals, events, activities at the temple. Here it says experience in Photoshop and designing marketing materials. This would be a good one. So if anybody has some skills that they can design some things or want to help in that department. 6, helping with social media marketing, creating events on social media, posting information, adding pictures and videos, advertising, responding to messages. Right? This is Lord Chaitanya's mission for us. He says, teach others about Krishna. Chant Hare Krishna, but also teach others about it. Right? Because as you're hearing, you're like, wow, it's nice to hear about these wonderful messages that are given in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna really likes it when we spread it with all of his other children and let them know. So through marketing, invitations, editing video recordings of the temple activities, maintaining temple's YouTube channel. This is starting to sound a little bit more specific. Some skills are required, but I'm sure there are devotees here that have some of these skills, or maybe would like to learn, right? Greeting newcomers during the Sunday feast program, giving them small gifts, cooking some small amounts of sweets to put into the gift package is also very welcome. 9, broadcasting temple activities, setting up cameras, mics, recording, going live on social media, etc. If we want to start at 3 o'clock, we need to have all that equipment set up, right? So there's facilities if you would like to come and help in that capacity. Wonderful. 10, photography service. Well, taking pictures during special events, and once a month during regular programs, Sunday feast, Friday kirtans, govindas, uploading them to social media, so on and so forth. And here, for most of these services, there can be several responsible people alternating every week or every second week. For any questions, please contact me personally, and I'll redirect you to a devotee responsible for a particular service that needs help. And this was a message, I think, from Krshna Prabhu? Yeah? Jaya. So, and there's many more. There's actually many more activities that are here that haven't been listed. So if you want to engage in your dharma, right, eternal activity of devotional service, then feel free to connect with some of the devotees, right? And we can try to arrange for that. Any questions? Okay, so we're going to continue for a few minutes with a little bit more devotional service by chanting the Lord's holy names, Hare Krishna, Kirtan, enthusiastically, and then prasadam after will be served. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jaya. Shishimanitai ki Jaya. Oh, and one more thing I wanted to say. So there's also some nice practical devotional service. There are a few devotees that are coming to the temple in the mornings for morning programs really early at 4:30 a.m. to participate in the Mangal Aarti morning programs twice or 3 times a week. I think Thursday mornings and Saturday mornings. And there's a couple of really sweet devotees that are there. Surendra Prabhu, I know he's there regularly on Thursday mornings. And Sahil Prabhu comes also. And there's some Matajis that are here on Saturday mornings at, also 4:30 early. So if you want to come on out and participate in one of those activities, I think it would be wonderful. It really feels great. It's very sattvic. It's known as the Brahma Muhurta hour. It's the best time to be focused and to do meditation. And it's not one of those things that you have to commit for life and be like, yes, Prabhu, I will come every Thursday morning. If you come like once a year, unannounced, right, that's also would be wonderful. Just come on and show up, do a little bit of austerity, it'd be nice. Devotees appreciate it, and then you get to have the good association of Surendra Prabhu, which is just like the sweetest, right, and the other Vaishnavas that are there in the morning. So that's every Thursday morning at 4:30, Saturday morning at 4:30 a.m. And are there any other times that it's happening? I think that's it. And sometimes, and Monday mornings at 4:30 also, yes, Prabhu? Yeah, so I'd like to come and visit that one day with you, Prabhu. I think it would be very sweet. So Monday mornings also, okay? Thank you. Pardon me? Okay, so maybe after, I'm going to give the microphone to you. And I didn't even notice I had that on. It's okay. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishna Gita Shrimati Bhakti Swami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaura Prachari Nirvishesha Srimad Prasthiti Satani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura
Hare
Krishna 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 Hare
Hare Krishna